Recently, I've been having a lot of dreams, or nightmares rather, about becoming manic and different parts of my past that I'd rather forget. And it's kind of interfering in my life a little bit. I think a lot about, my past. And it even goes so far as what I experienced in middle school, which was probably one of the worst times of my life. Um, I mean, it's a lot of people's worst times, to be honest, but even recently, with all the different manic episodes and depressive episodes I've had, I never really had the struggle of other people around me also putting me down at the same time, which I did have in middle school. Because in middle school, everyone's going through this weird phase where they're insecure and they want to make other people feel worse about themselves so they can feel better about themselves, or all that kind of thing. So in middle school, I often had people like say things to me where if I were manic, I would be able to like come up with these remarks sometimes to just fight back, or I just wouldn't care, or I'd kind of play along with them. But then when I would quickly slip into depression not too long later, I would just completely break down, try to hide, basically cower away from their words. And in these dreams, I don't even know if they were like complete nightmares, because it was in them I would be more manic and I would be able to respond to comments and like engage with people trying to poke fun at me. The not so great thing though was that I was manic in the first place, and I remember waking up after these dreams being like, oh, thank God I'm not manic. And just like that whole relief where it's just like, I don't have to worry about this. Because even in the dream, towards the end of the dream, I was kind of freaking out, like, dang it, I'm manic again. And um it's weird because even though I've had these kinds of dreams in the past where I do become manic and the whole dream is kind of revolving around the different kind of feelings I get when I'm manic, I don't usually have so many of them, and I don't have so many of them in a short period of time. And I had like two or three in a row, and it was pretty crazy. I was like, this is not great. I mean, they were really elaborate stories and great, exciting stories that I could probably put into a nice little book, but I don't want to like go to bed at night and like have a mini manic episode in my brain. It's kind of weird. I don't like it. And it's like when I wake up, I'm reminded that I'm not even really anywhere near that. I'm would say pretty far from mania right now. I'm not like depressed exactly, but I'm like a little below the middle line, I would say. And so when I'm getting these dreams, it's just so out of the blue, and it makes me kind of wonder what it's about. Like, what's going on in my subconscious that's making me have these manic dreams, and why am I having them so often? Why am I being brought back to my past? Because honestly, a lot of my dreams that go on, like just the normal ones, aren't really about like things that far back in my life. And it went like back to my freshman year crush. It went back to people that made fun of me in middle school. It went back to like people that I hadn't really talked to since elementary school. And it's just like sometimes I really wonder like is going on in my mind for such like memories to be brought front and center. I know in a way I kind of fear manic episodes. I try not to have them come back. I don't want them to come back at all. It kind of puts my life on hold for months, and then I have to get out of depression after. It's not a fun time. And I've put my life on hold so many times because of mania. And I know that I wish that I didn't have to deal with these things so that I would be farther in life than I am now. And I mean, I'm getting there, and everyone keeps saying everyone has their own pace and whatever, but it's like, people have their own pace, but then there's also just the fact that I didn't choose this. I wasn't like, I'm just gonna go and do this for a while. It was like, bam, Manic episode, and then um a year later, bam, here's another one. And it's just like every time I start to get going a little, it just comes out of nowhere and is like, hello, we're just gonna ruin everything again. So yeah, these dreams that weren't very nightmarish while I was having them, I would say are nightmares because they're scary. I don't want that to happen. And yeah, it just goes to show like how much I fear them, how much I don't want them, how much I would try to avoid them. And other people with bipolar could probably relate a little bit to those internal feelings. Maybe also had dreams where you're just like feeling manic. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's almost a little break from the life you're living. You're like, whoa, this is what it feels like to be manic, not gonna go there again. Or it's like some people crave that, which is confusing to me. I don't really know. Like, I guess being manic does, like, feel better. Like, your mind is faster and you think everything is going well. But there's a very short time where you think it's going well. Like, all the way leading up to it, you're like, oh no, and no. And then you get there and you're like, oh, this is great. And then there's the crash. And then there's the depression. So I would say that it's not that great. It's really not something that I would look forward to. And even though some people crave being manic, I do not. I really hope that moving forward I'm able to manage this better so that these nightmares don't come true. I'll see you guys next time.